All right, so back to Hollywood Rock.
Yeah.
We have 400 reviews in the center. And then at the end, there's 2 or 3 kind of appendixes. One is more rock films, which are just one paragraph reviews of odds and ends. Anything particularly outrageous that is in here, as to say, to be considered a rock film when it's really not? Because I know I contributed to some of this by putting in something that showed Elvis's shoes in it or something. In other words, a movie that had nothing to do with rock and roll at all, but had a rock and roll moment in it. Like was it Rockabye Baby, the Jerry Lewis movie where
That's really good.
It's not a rock and roll movie, but he has a checkered coat on and he does a Bill Haley kind of song, which is actually
rock
quite
and
good.
roll. It's a parody, right?
Yeah, Yeah. So
a send-up.
Anything comes to mind, was it Rockabye Baby? Does anything come to mind?
Well, that section of the book, it contains movies that we heard about but couldn't find, that we had to give up trying to find.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, and there are a lot of those. And then it also contains names and information about movies that have rock star cameos in them. You know, like an example of that would be this movie called With Six You Get Egg Roll, which is a Doris Day comedy.
Yeah.
I've never seen it, but I read about it in here.
Who's in it?
And this band called the Grassroots is in the movie. You know, they just sing part of a song and are seen during some part of this movie. So that, we list things like that. I'm in a movie called Peggy Sue Got Married.
I was about to ask you what your resume is as far as movie inclusions.
2. I got my SAG card in 1986 because I was in Peggy Sue Got Married, and then later that year I was in La Bamba.
Oh right, yeah.
You know about La Bamba. Well, but anyway, so the back section of the book has all those sort of movies that have these little quick cameos by rock people in them.
No, oh yeah, you didn't see my Peggy Sue Got Married review got squished to a little aside in the back, but you were all over the place in that movie. That's running on cable a lot. I mean, you were there quite a bit.
I know,
cool.
it's great. I mean, the movie's on TV all the time, and I mean that's cool. At least I'll be on the Late Show. Like 10 years from now, I'll be on on late night TV. And stuff.
Actually, with Jonathan Richman popping up a lot on Conan O'Brien, I mean, you should be there too.
I'm going to be on Conan O'Brien.
When?
On May 19th.
Wow.
Yeah.
Are you going to be singing?
I think so. Yeah.
I mean, you're a singer, but in this case...
Well, I haven't verified it, but yeah, I mean, if I can't do a song, I probably won't do the show.
Well, that's cool.
Well, I don't want to say that, but anyway, we'll figure it out.
Oh,
I want to.
What about your recorded output, Four Warners, which is probably 7 or 8 albums?
5.
5? Have they anthologized them yet? In a sense of the Crenshaw CD?
Well, 3 of them are still in print, and 2 of them aren't. And
so they have carried them over to the CD world, right?
Yeah.
That's great.
I was pleased.
Yeah.
I didn't want to get left behind.
That's nice. I don't want to seem surprised. I'm not. You're great. But whether record companies acknowledge that or not is always a surprise to me.
Oh yeah, I know.
Good people who are not in print.
I know. I believe me. I'm really happy that that some of my records are still available.
Which 3 are available? Which 3 are available?
The first 3. The first one's called Marshall Crenshaw. That's my name. The second one's called Field Day, and the third one's called Downtown. And then there are 2 more after that are pretty hard to find. But I think that everybody who wants them has got them now. And so. So on this book promotion deal, this is a new world for you. Yeah.
I want to repeat what we talked about last night. When you write songs, you turn them in. People say thank you, or no thank you. But when you write passages for books, people say, I'm going to change all that now. And then you end up with something else that you didn't quite write. I've got some of my reviews in there have words that I didn't put in them, but they're not bad words. They're just not my words.
I know what you mean. There was this little period where we really struggled over the whole question of editing. Like the first sort of filter that the stuff went through. I think a lot of people just were stunned. I was, because like you say, I'd never really written anything before. I'd never been edited before, so we had to kind of go back and forth a lot just to make sure that everybody, felt like they were getting their viewpoint across.
Yeah, I might add that the second review in here is one of mine, Absolute Beginners, and it's chock full of very interesting information that I know nothing about, because one of the editors was a British guy who really knew that movie.
Oh yeah.
So took my reviews and left in a few words like and stuff like that, and otherwise wrote the whole thing himself, and it was great. I mean, it looks like I'm real smart. I appreciate that. But I did want to write about it, and I guess I did in a way.
Was that your bit about maybe he'll retire to stage musicals? Or?
Yes, that was about Bowie. Yeah. Well, that's subject for another show. Are there any Springsteen movies? I mean, I just thought about that because he is like the original musical stage show guy, with Clarence Clemens over on the right with this yellow suit and a saxophone. And it's very dramatic, like his whole show is like a musical, in a good sense, in a rock musical.
Yeah, a lot of pageantry and stuff.
Yeah, and dramatics. But he hasn't been in a movie, has he?
I don't think so. I mean, he just won an Oscar for Philadelphia, Streets of Philadelphia.
Oh, not for Philadelphia, the AIDS story. This is a different one.
No, yeah, he had the theme song for that movie.
Was there? I didn't know that.
And he won an Oscar for it. Yeah.
Do you know how it goes?
And then Light of Day or something. Is that the one? I mean, he's written some themes for.
But it's no Springsteen movie. Like Dylan's
not in any movies.
Like Dylan's been in a few movies.
Well, there's that one, Eddie and the Cruisers. I've never seen it, but
Springsteen's in it?
No, but the story, it's supposed to be, loosely based on his on the Springsteen saga somehow. There's supposed to be some connection.
Name a couple of movies that are really cool that you're not able to find. Like there was that one song called was it Revolution, the one shot in Berkeley that featured Country Joe and the Fish and tons of other people that eventually nobody located, or did some people locate it?
That's one. There were a lot.
That was not found.
No, we never found it.
Any other completely missing movies that you would have liked to review, but you we can announce it out loud. It'd be interesting to try and find them still.
Yeah, I guess I'll mention this. We left out entirely a movie called Complex World, and I feel bad about it. I just spaced out on it, but the reason I feel sort of bad about it is because one of the producers of the movie is a friend of mine. It's somebody I know. There's this really great rock club in Providence, Rhode Island, called Lupo's Heartbreak Hotel. And this movie, most of it was shot at this club, and the producer is Rich Lupo, And anyway,
so this is a personal. You're saying you feel bad, but it's a personal loss. It's not like most of the audience is dying to find out about. What is the name of it again?
It's called Complex World.
Complex World.
NRBQ is in the movie. It should be in the book, and it's not. Okay. This book isn't perfect, but.
So you weren't able to find Revolution. Anything else that's really cool that you think you would like to have found that you never did?
I wanted to see this one called Dateline Diamonds, which is an English movie, and it has the Small Faces in it. And I'm still waiting for my copy. I found a guy who was the Small Faces fan club president, and he said he was going to be sending it to me. I still haven't got it.
And what were some of the coolest discoveries that because you did all the research. I was writing some reviews, and you occasionally sent me a movie we couldn't find, but I wasn't digging. You were digging.
I was digging. I was networking.
Through the collector underground and stuff. What was any real cool movies you uncovered that nobody had ever seen before?
The big discovery for me, and I mean, it's not a big discovery. You can go to any video store and get this movie, but I'd never seen Beyond the Valley of the Dolls.
Oh, yeah?
Have you ever seen it?
Actually, probably not in 20 years.
Check it out. That was the one for me. I mean, I just was like that the whole time, It's a Russ Meyer film.
I saw a horror movie not long ago, made in England, that had Sal Valentino and Stoneground right on the opening credits singing in a party with, 9 girls with tambourines, and it was all hippie outfits and stuff. Do you know what that one was? Was that in there?
No, I don't offhand. I can't name it, but.
Man, speaking of seeing these movies after a while, it was about 2 years ago on TV. They ran Medicine Ball Caravan, and boy, that was horrifying. I mean, it was quite embarrassing. Unlike Woodstock, which is embarrassing in another way. Woodstock, your hometown right now. Oh, by the way, I just heard on the radio today there's some big hoo-ha about 25th anniversary of Woodstock.
Yeah.
That's where you're living.
I know all about it.
So you're going to be running something up the flagpole outside your house to signify this great event, or?
I'm going to stay. I'm going to stay around home that weekend.
Oh, yeah.
And make sure that my house
is
still there. By the time it's over.
People looking for bathrooms and stuff.
Yeah, I live on a road that you have to go down. In order to get in and out of Woodstock, you have to go down this road. And so, I mean, it is going to be crazy.
Are they expecting 500,000 people, or what are they?
Yeah, they are.
Oh, so they're going to have the same bands?
They're really eager for it. The local economy is pretty in a pretty bad slump.
Who else is living in Woodstock? I mean, the members of the band live there.
Yeah, Jules Shear, Keith Strickland from the B-52s. There's a lot of people up there. Jerry Murata, drummer, really good.
Another name. Yeah.
Really great drummer. Tons.
Well, back to the one that wasn't your movie, which is Medicine Ball Caravan, which was actually a Warner Brothers promotion.
Was it any good? Was B.B. King any good?
That's where I first saw. I went to the Boulder version, the Boulder performance of Medicine Ball Caravan in 1970.
Yeah.
And I saw Doug Crenshaw, which really turned me around because I knew I liked Rusty and Doug's Louisiana Man, but I didn't know who they were. And then I saw, that's the guy right up there with the purple velvet suit. You know, it was really cool. It was freezing that night. But the Medicine Ball Caravan is very self-consciously. A lot of peace signs, a lot of, aren't we cool driving in this bus?
Yeah, I guess it was a film studio trying to cash in a really, obvious way, just trying to cash in a Woodstock film.
Yeah, real heavy-handed. Like, remember CBS Records, the revolution, the man can't stop the music.
The man can't bust our music.
The man can't bust our music, which was a promotion from CBS Records.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. All right, so we'll be looking in them bookstores for Hollywood Rock because it's a cool book, and you read it.
Well, thanks for helping out with it.
You read part of it anyways. And it's a gas. And it's great
to have. It's a gas!
And it's great to have you here. And
are we done?
We're more or less done. Let's go away to hear a little of your music because I got it queued up here. Not really, but I will.
Oh, all right.
All right. So thanks a lot. We'll see you next time. Not pushing my own book today because I'm pushing Marshall's.